Mick Franklin from Winnebago Motor Homes just returned from the largest RV dealer show in the United States. We got some big announcements to make around the Winnebago lineup. In addition, you're going to learn about the new lithionics, lithium energy system that goes into the Travato. And if you have an older Travato that is powered by a Pure 3 lithium system built by Volta, you don't want to miss a single minute of that update. And if you are interested in van life, truth, travel, and tiny living content, this is the channel for you. Please subscribe, like, please leave a comment on what you think about these upcoming changes to the lineup by Winnebago in 2026. Let's go to the highlights of a live stream interview I did with Mick.
What are some of your top takeaways, Mick, on the camper van segment in particular? That'd be the Class B RV.
Yeah, the class, Winnebago had, did introduce a few new items there at the show. They did do a nice upgrade to the Travato here at about 25 and a half. So a lot of new exciting upgrades there. They also did some updating to the Solis product as well. The Solis PX always had just that Murphy bed configuration. On the P model, the smaller Solis, we had the option of the Murphy bed, and then also the sofa bed. Well, and they never offered that in the PX with the larger Solis. Well, that is now going to be an availability on the PX to have that option for that sofa bed, which is going to give you a couple more seat belts for travelers, but still convert into a bed as well. The new upgrades to the Travato, but a lot of nice upgrades there that they've listened to the customer. They kind of got rid of that outside shower or outside water hookup. They brought that back. We still have the inside hookup. We have the outside hookup. We got some new exciting interior colors, new exciting exterior colors. A lot of nice new features for the Travato. I still think it's a nice idea. They moved everything inside for, less holes on the side of your van. Everything's inside. And I think for water, weather, and stuff like that, having everything inside made a lot of sense as well. And with a B van, I don't think, and everyone uses them different. So, there's not a right or a wrong way to use that van. Everyone uses it different ways. But I just feel like that van's very mobile, and to be at one spot for an extended period of time is probably not real likely, but you can. So not having that on the outside, I really didn't think was that big of a drawback. I kind of liked having less holes in the side of my van, keeping everything inside where I can keep temperature control, stuff like that. If you do, but customers complained they wanted that on the outside, so they brought it back. We still have it inside, but we have that port outside again as well. A new smart plug, a little easier to plug that van in instead of that twist lock where you twist it and turn it. This is just a snap-in plug. It made life a little bit easier for that. And like I said, it upgraded interiors, different options there, a little more insulation on their window coverings for that. Interior colors have changed, exterior color graphics have changed. Just some update and something new, and bring a little more life back into that Travato, which has been, probably the #1 selling B van in the market. I think you're asking about the different floor plans, maybe in the G and the GL and the KL. And the G is still there, but the GL is I can no longer do the GL. The KL is there. I can still do a lithium package in the KL with the lithionics package, or the standard K or the standard G as well. The K or the KL lithium, I gotta grab my notes so I don't mess that up, but because I changed it to kilowatt hours, now the rating on the lithium, and the standard is 8.4, and then you can do the upgraded, which gets you the 16.8.
Wow.
Kilowatt hours. And just, it's always a question you always get. I mean, how long is it going to last? How long can I run my air? And there's so many variables there. It's kind of hard to say for sure. But, like I fired up one just to demonstrate today, and I turned it on, high cool, high fan, and on the display there, it gave me over 15 hours at that usage, and that one has the upgraded battery pack in it. So
that's a lot.
Even if you don't have that upgraded battery pack, I mean, just you go 8 hours or so with that. I mean, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Because more than likely that next day you're traveling, you're going to recharge that. We still have our secondary alternator on there. So it recharges that very quickly going down the road. Within a couple hours, you're going to be fully charged.
Travato K was the first one to come out with a trim with gasoline from the engine. Is that a trend you're seeing?
That is one of those changes that came, and you take a KL, there is no LP tank on that KL whatsoever anymore. We got the induction cooktop, and then your furnace and water heat is all done by gasoline. There is no need for LP or to go look for LP any longer on that KL product.
As a question, why doesn't Winnebago offer a pop top on the Travato? So the Solis is they got pop tops, but the Travato?
The Solis is our pop top version. The KL or the K or the G or, whichever way it is, trim level is going to be a kind of a step above what that Solis is. But with the features and options that are in it, that just really doesn't give us that option for that pop top. Now, not to say it won't ever happen, but at the moment, Winnebago, the pop top is strictly in the Solis, and the Travato is definitely more of a two-person or a single-person van, maybe three people. You can use that air-up mattress between the driver passenger seat and get a third in there. But I truly feel that's more of a two or a single-person van.
Tell us about what you saw around the Revel, because that was just a home run for Winnebago, and people want to get a little more off-grid.
Lithionics package is really basically the same now on they took what was in the Revel and put that in the Travato KL. So they've been using that same system in the Revel for a little while.
Let's show the Ekko, then we'll get to some questions here, because I thought this was pretty stunning. We've got a question here about the Ford Transit, which I think this is a picture of the new Ekko. So this is kind of a new exterior.
Yep, one of the new exterior full body paints that they weren't. I'm pretty 99% sure that's going to be coming. But there again, that's one of the things they're taking some dealer feedback on. If they're going to introduce that or not. But it sounds like it probably will. The paint, at least, they are talking about maybe an overland package that may come with some upgrades on it as well. That's still up in the air. 22A is on the Ford Transit, 23B is on the Mercedes platform. I think with the Ekko too, the big thing on the Ekko is you talked about that installation value. That's really truly the only four-season camper I know out there. Winnebago has tested and run that thing into 13, 14, 10-degree weather and still use that system, because all of our, that with that cassette toilets in there where we're heated, our gray tanks above floor line where it's heated, and that sidewall on that Ekko is insulated like you wouldn't believe, and it just gives us that, again, that versatility with that cassette toilet to use it in a lot of different weathers. And everyone talks about the cold, but just think of the advantage too, and that guy sitting out on the blacktop in Florida having that installation value there to help keep you cool also. Floor plans are very, very similar, and but the main difference is that about 1.5 feet longer. On the Ekko version, we do have a chance for a third bed in that dinette area that you can convert into a bed that we just don't have room in the 22A. And a little bit more exterior storage, but still either one of them has that gear garage, which is huge. Yeah, I have nothing but great things to say about that Volta system. I love that system. It does a great job. Winnebago's been using lithionics, like I say, in the Revel, and that's basically the same platform that they brought over and put in the Travato. So that's going to do great things as well. That battery's been tested. It's UL approved. It's just it's a great little system there as well. Nobody's used that Volta system like you have, I don't think, and how it's worked and how it's continued to work over the years. It shows you how great of a system that is. Winnebago's still standing behind all the Volta systems. They have all the parts and pieces for that system, so that's not I can service older Volta systems. I can warranty the newer Volta systems. That's not an issue. I still think things are There's still the Class A's are still there. They're still building those Class A's. There's still a market for that, but it does definitely seem like everything is trending towards that smaller side for more people. I mean, there's still a lot of people that use that Class A and go full time in, but definitely that market seems to be getting smaller. Definitely going to that, the Class C's, B's, B pluses, if someone wants to call it that. That's where the trend is going. More versatility, because I keep saying there's no right or wrong way to use one, because the way one person uses it is not the way the next person's going to use it. And that smaller market seems like that gives those customers that flexibility to go and use it the way they see fit, the way they want to use it, and we can make it work for them. Every B product that Winnebago builds, every C product Winnebago builds, I mean, it's going to have solar on it nowadays. And everyone keeps always asking me, well, what can I run on solar that I can't without? And then the solar is not going to let you run anything more than what that system's designed. It ain't going to run anything more. It's just going to let that battery last longer. It's a way to prolong the life of that battery. It ain't going to make you run anything more or do anything different if you don't have it, but it's going to make our batteries last longer if we're off grid. Yeah, I just want to thank you for everything, and for the people that joined in today and gave us some great questions and feedback. And if you have any questions, we're always here to help you, even if it's just a question. So we'll be here for you and help you any way we can.